Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
शिल प्रभुपाद की, शिल प्रभुपाद की। सभी भक्त हाथ ऊपर कर बोलेंगे शिल प्रभुपाद की। धन्यवाद। आज हम सभी भक्त यहाँ पर शिल प्रभुपाद के 46वें तिरोभाव दिवस को मनाने के लिए, उन्हें श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए यहाँ उपस्थित हुए हैं। हम वृंदावन चंद्रोदय मंदिर की ओर से आप सभी भक्तों का हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं। हमें प्रसन्नता है कि हमारे समक्ष श्रील प्रभुपाद के एक वरिष्ठ भक्त हिज ग्रेस अमय आत्मा प्रभु उपस्थित हैं। प्रभु ने श्रील प्रभुपाद के इस मिशन को 1973 में ज्वाइन किया था और उसके बाद आज लगभग 50 सालों से प्रभु श्रील प्रभुपाद की सेवा में लगे हुए हैं। श्रील प्रभुपाद का एक सपना था कि प्रभुपाद के जो पूरा टीचिंग्स हैं इनको एक म्यूज़ियम के थ्रू, टेक्नोलॉजीज़ के थ्रू पूरे विश्व में सिखाया जाए, दिखाया जाए। तो उसके लिए एक फेट म्यूज़ियम जो हमारे इस्कॉन के एक मंदिर है डिट्रॉइट में, उसका जो फेट म्यूजियम है उसे डिज़ाइन करने में प्रभु का खासा योगदान रहा. सो नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट हिज ग्रेस अमय आत्मा प्रभु टू प्लीज कम फॉरवर्ड and share some of his memories of Srila Prabhupada with us. Prabhu, please come forward.
Hare Krishna. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Brahmangsa Paravakachaya Jahastada Sata Shishimar is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So, so thank you, Madhu Pandit and Chanchalapati, for inviting me. And so I never had that much personal association with Srila Prabhupada. In 1970, I found his books in the library. I was searching, first of all, I was searching for a book that would describe what God looks like and what he does in the spiritual world. There's a long story to that, but that was what I was searching for. And in that search, I went through all the different religions, and I wound up with Sanatana Dharma as being the top religion that I found. And in the books I read, it said to find a spiritual master. If you want to find who is God, you have to find the self-realized soul. So then I thought, oh, I wanted to find out about God, so then I realized I need to find a spiritual master who is self-realized, who can tell me. But I started reading all these books, and somehow or other at the library, the local library, there was a librarian there, and she used to get books from all over because she was also into the Sanatana Dharma, the Vedic culture. She would get books from all over the California library system, and including the universities, and different books would come. Every week I'd come, there would be, every 2 weeks I would come, there would be different books. But all the different gurus I read about, I would just read just a little bit, and no, this person is not qualified. This person doesn't know what he's talking about. Basing it, the only thing I can say was, you have a sincere desire to understand Krishna, a sincere desire to have a real spiritual master, then the Lord in the heart within guides you. Because I had nothing else to base it on. I would read something and no, this person is not qualified. And that at one point, I decided, because there was one book that I did read that was written in the 1800s, and I don't remember the person who wrote it. And it was the only one I felt that that person was somewhat qualified. And so I thought, my spiritual master must have lived a long time ago, and I will find a book that he has written, and I will understand God through that book. So I was looking for my spiritual master, thinking he was no longer living. And eventually, Krishna allowed me, actually, a devotee brought a book, the Krishna book, the very first Krishna book that was distributed, and donated it to that library. So I was able to get the very first Krishna book in the summer of 1970, which is a book that tells you everything about God, what he looks like, what he does, his activities, and that was what I was praying for. And immediately I accepted Prabhupada as my guru. Because whoever wrote that, I was thinking, whoever wrote this, he is my spiritual master, and I turned it over, and there was a picture of Prabhupada. And when I looked at the picture of Prabhupada, my first reaction was, how could such a young child write this book? And then I'm looking, oh, it's a young child in an old man's body. And that to me was that was my first reaction. But that way that I associated with Srila Prabhupada, even though I joined the temple, it took me 3 years. I didn't even know there was temples, but it took me 3 years to finally find the temple and join. And so, and I took initiation in 1973. But my real association with Srila Prabhupada from the time I found his book until today was the Chaitya Guru, within. I always associated with Prabhupada from within. I attended his classes. I got the mercy of attending his classes and seeing him give class and seeing his merciful glance. But my main association with him was through his books, through his teachings. Yes, I heard his lectures, but his lectures are recorded. And so the main association I had with him, that is still available today. All his books, the purports, the lectures are there. And that is what a guru is. The spiritual master is his teachings. Guru Vani, the Vapu, the material, temporary manifestation, not material, still a transcendental manifestation because he's a transcendental personality, but it's a temporary form. That Vapu form doesn't give you the shelter. It doesn't give you the realization. You get, there's a benefit, I would say, it's not even the benefit, it's just the blessing. You get some extra blessing. But the real guru is the Guru Vani, his teachings. In 1975, a reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, what will happen to your Krishna conscious movement when you die? And Prabhupada said, I will never die. He said, I live in my books. So he lives eternally in his teachings, in his books. And that's available to all of us. And that is the real essence of the Guru. When I was, in just a second, I may have to check a note. Because I did have, like I said, I got to hear the classes, I got to go on a morning walk, I got to go in Prabhupada's room and presenting what I was doing with the museum, but I didn't present it, actually. Bhardraj, who was in charge of the project, presented it. So I never had a one-on-one conversation with Prabhupada. But I did in the sense that I always associated it with him in the heart, within. And it's because even when I wanted to ask a question of Prabhupada when I was on morning walk and I couldn't think of what to ask, the only thing that came to me was something, because there was a comet coming through. And I thought, well, I wonder what Prabhupada has to say about the comet. And I thought, well, that's not Krishna conscious. I can't ask that. But it's the only thing that came in my mind. I finally got the nerve, okay, I'm going to ask Prabhupada because I wanted to have a conversation with him. And then another devotee standing next to Prabhupada asked about the comet. So then I thought, he's taken my question. But when Prabhupada went to answer it, he turned around because I was standing behind him, and he started pointing his finger at me and giving the answer. Then I understood Prabhupada actually knew, he knew that I was wanting to ask that question. But, so those little things, I had some experiences like that. But, as I said, those are like, they're not really, that isn't what's going to save me and take me back to Krishna. That's not what will save us. That isn't the real shelter. That's getting a little nectar. But the real saving grace, and I had a godbrother, is his teachings, but I had a godbrother who he joined in 67 or 68, and he had a lot of personal association with Srila Prabhupada. And after Prabhupada left, he confided in me that he was having difficulty going on with his service, because he said the whole time that he had been a devotee and he performed his service, Prabhupada would always come personally and either, tell him he had done a good, thanked him for what he'd done, or he would say, you need to correct this, you need to correct that. So he always had that personal reciprocation. And when Prabhupada left, he said, I'm not going to have that anymore. I'm going to do my service, but Prabhupada isn't going to come, and he's not going to give that personal reciprocation. And he told me he couldn't go on. And he actually wound up having to leave Krishna consciousness for some time, because he just couldn't go on without that personal ras. But for me, I was thinking, my personal association didn't change with Srila Prabhupada from when he was present to when he was no longer present in this physical form. My relationship was always within. So that's what the point I was trying to make, is that today, Prabhupada is just as available to all of you as he was to me. His books are there, his lectures are there. And when a devotee, the only time Prabhupada mentioned living Guru, Prabhupada didn't mention living Guru, the only time living Guru is mentioned in the Veda base in Prabhupada's teachings was a devotee asked Prabhupada, how can a Christian go back to the spiritual world by accepting the teachings of Jesus but not having a Guru? And Prabhupada he didn't understand the question. So Tamal repeated it. And Prabhupada said, I can't remember the exact words now, but by accepting the teachings of Jesus, he has his Guru. Jesus is his Guru. So then they said, well, no, without a living Guru. So that's the only time living Guru is mentioned that I could find in the Veda, in Prabhupada's teachings in the Veda base. And Prabhupada said, it's not a question of living or like a living or dead Guru. He didn't say dead, but he stopped. He said a living or, and then he said the spiritual master is eternal. The spiritual master is eternal. He lives eternally in his teachings. So the point was that by following the teachings of Jesus, they have accepted Jesus as their Guru. And there's no question they can't go back to the spiritual world without Guru. They've accepted Jesus' teaching. So we just changed that to Prabhupada. The word, the person from Jesus to Prabhupada. We can go back by accepting Prabhupada as our Guru by accepting his teachings, because that is the real essence of the Guru. As Prabhupada said, he will not die. He will never die. He lives eternally in his books. And he said, and you will utilize. We have to utilize by reading them, studying his message, and then utilize by applying it and carrying out those teachings and those instructions. So, are there any questions or? That might take a few more minutes. Okay. He was asking me about a pastime or an event that took place in Prabhupada's last month. And it's something that I couldn't speak about, in the GBC ISKCON, because it means I have to, by telling what happened, I have to make some. What happened is that Bhardraj, I worked at the Fate studio. Fate was the museum project, the multimedia diorama project, and he was in charge of it. We had heard Prabhupada had been ill for a long time. And his health was getting worse. But in May, Prabhupada announced, he told his servant to take him to Vrindavan, that he was going to leave soon. So from May, he was in Vrindavan. But we, in America, I was in the Los Angeles, the headquarters of the movement, we still didn't know how bad Srila Prabhupada was. Prabhupada had been ill before. He came to LA, sometimes he was like a cold, you know, a little sickly. So we thought, he'll get better, he'll get better. And we didn't really hear that Prabhupada said he was going to actually leave soon. Maybe we heard, but we couldn't believe it. So, but then around September, or whenever it was, that Prabhupada had made a trip to England. I think it was in September, or was it, yeah. August? Yeah, and then he had to, then we heard he's going to come. He will come to America too. But then he had to turn back and go back. Then we started hearing that his health was actually as bad as it was. And so Bhardraj, my godbrother, he decided he was going to go to be with Prabhupada. And that was in October. And as soon as he left, I also decided I had to go. I wanted to be with Prabhupada. Any loving son wants to be with their father if their father is going to be leaving soon. And the father wants to see his children again one more time. So I started, because I'd never been out of America, so I had to get a visa, a passport, visa. I was looking into all that. I lined up the money to go, and then Rameshwar came back from being with Prabhupada. He came to Los Angeles and he was telling, he said to come for an important istagosti, an important message, and then he told us in that istagosti that Prabhupada had sent him with a message. And the message was that he didn't want us to leave our service, that he wanted us to stay and do our service because there was nothing we could do by going to be with him in Vrindavan. So they told us, Rameshwar told us to stay. Rameshwar is our GBC. Rameshwar, that Los Angeles is the main headquarters. From Los Angeles, he contacted all the temple presidents and told them, tell everyone to stay. Do not go to India. That it will disturb Prabhupada to see everyone leave their service and come. I found out after Prabhupada left from Bhardraj, who came back, that Prabhupada had actually said just the opposite. That the day that Bhardraj arrived, the day or the day after, and he was in Prabhupada's room, Prabhupada told everyone there, he said, I want that all my disciples will come and be by my side. And he requested everyone to come, and a number of devotees have heard him at other times make that request. And then Bhardraj told a week later, about a week or so later, that it was just Bhardraj in the room, Upendra, Prabhupada's servant, and Hamsaduta were in Prabhupada's room, just 3 devotees, and Prabhupada woke up from a long rest and he looked around the room, and only three devotees, and Prabhupada was practically in tears, asking why his disciples were avoiding him, why they hadn't come. And he even said, Upendra had written that Prabhupada had basically given up. He no longer wanted to fight, to stay with us, because he thought that his disciples had avoided him, no longer coming. They wouldn't come, they weren't coming. So I didn't hear that until a week after Prabhupada left. But on one day, I went on, when Rameshwar told us that Prabhupada didn't want us to come, I was Gauramatai's main pujari in Los Angeles. There was the head pujari, and there wasn't a main pujari for any other deities, but everyone called me Lord Chaitanya's main pujari because I had taken over their dressing them. And so when Rameshwar told us that we weren't to come, I looked up at Gaur Nitai because the doors were open, and I just made a prayer. I said, Lord Chaitanya, if I can't be with Srila Prabhupada when he leaves this world, then I want to be with you. I had no clue what I meant by that. And then several weeks went by, and I went to go to dress Lord Chaitanya on the altar. And as soon as I got in front of Lord Chaitanya, tears started coming, forming in in the nectar devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, in the nectar devotion, Rupa Goswami says one should not cry in front of the deities. So tears were coming, and I thought, what's going on? So I ran off the altar and composed myself, came back on, and that kept happening as I was trying to dress Gaur Nitai. A number of times, the tears would start coming. And then I had to put Lord Chaitanya's dhoti, skirt, whatever he was wearing that day, and it ties behind, because in Los Angeles you couldn't go behind the deities. There wasn't enough room. So we would dress always in front. So I was putting Lord Chaitanya's dhoti on, tying, and I had my arms around Lord Chaitanya, and the tears just started flowing from my eyes, and they were dropping on Lord Chaitanya's feet, and I was feeling so guilty. But at the same time, and as I put my arms around, I could feel Lord Chaitanya embracing me. I never told anybody this, and I put it on a video, and he asked me to say something about it. But that was a personal thing between me and Lord Chaitanya. And I just felt that for that moment, I felt his embrace. And I didn't know what was going on. I had no clue. So I ran off the altar, composed myself. I went back on, and I finished dressing them. And then after the greeting of the deities and after Guru Puja, Rameshwar came in the temple room. And his face, I just remember, it was like gray. His face was just gray, like concrete, like cold stone. And I just knew. And he came up to the microphone, and he said, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has left this world. There was a groan throughout the temple. And there was an ISKCON artist, Parikshit was sitting next to me. He just started wailing like a baby. He just started crying. I was crying, and I looked up at, and then Rameshwar explained what time that Prabhupada passed away in Vrindavan. I have it on my video. I can't remember the exact time. I think it was 7:20 or something like that. Vrindavan time in the evening. And so he was saying that in America, I think it was 6:50 a.m. in the morning. And so I was thinking, 6:50, and I was thinking, where was it? And I was dressing Lord Chaitanya. And then I realized that would have been the exact time I was putting on his dhoti. And the tears was flowing like anything. So I looked up at Lord Chaitanya, and I just said, Mahaprabhu, I couldn't be with Prabhupada when he left, but by your mercy, you let me be with you. Then I realized that was the prayer I gave when I found out that we were told not to come. And so that was a personal thing between me and them. I never told devotees. I never told anyone about that. But when I started doing this video, the presentation, I decided, because Prabhupada actually wanted me to tell these things. And because when Rameshwar told me, after Bhardaraj came back, and he was telling us what happened in the last month, and he started telling us how Prabhupada had asked for everyone to come. And we couldn't believe it, because we had been told that he told us not to come. So the next day after Bhagavatam class, I caught up with Rameshwar, and I asked him, I told him what what Bhardaraj told me, and I said, is what Bhardaraj said true or not? Prabhupada wanted us to come. So we're out in the middle of the street. So he looked on both shoulders to see who might hear, and he said, come to my quarters. And then he told me, he said, yes, what Bhardraj said is true. And then he said, Amayatma, I saved ISKCON. So I had no clue what he meant by that, but as I sat there and he just started explaining everything. He was saying that when he came, or not when he came, but at one point he saw two Sankirtan devotees, book distributors, come to Vrindavan. And he knew, because they were brahmacharis, they didn't have money. So he asked them how they got their ticket to come. And he said they've been pocketing the money from the book distribution so they had enough money because they wanted to see Prabhupada one more time. They had to come. And then he told him that all the other book distributors are doing the same thing. They're all pocketing the money so they can come. And Rameshwar thought, no, and he told me because Prabhupada told everyone he was leaving in May, and by then it was already October and Prabhupada hadn't left yet. So he thought if all the Sankirtan devotees come, they're going to stay there and Prabhupada may not leave for longer. And the Christmas marathon was coming up, and all the temples had bank mortgages. And if they didn't do the collections on the marathons, on the Christmas marathon book distribution, they wouldn't be able to pay for the temples and they'd all be foreclosed. So Rameshwar thought that this was really bad that everyone was coming. So he already was thinking he had to go back to stop everyone. But then the next day he heard that Prabhupada had requested everyone to come. And he said, when I heard Prabhupada say request, he said, I knew I had to go and keep everyone from hearing what Prabhupada said. And keep everyone from fulfilling Prabhupada's desire. And so that's why he came back. He thought he was saving ISKCON. He thought that Prabhupada gave some foolish request, asking everyone to come, and it could destroy ISKCON. My father only had 3 children. My father was very sick. My brother lived in, Oregon. My father was in California. My sister lived in another state, Arkansas, like 1,500 miles each way. But they came and they saw my father, and then my sister had children in school. She only stayed for a few days, went back. And my brother came for a few days because he had his business to run. He went back. But my father got to see all his children one last time, and we got to see him one last time. Prabhupada wasn't a fool. When he requested everyone to come, and everyone would have come. All his disciples would have come. Many of us, wild horses couldn't have stopped us. We would have come to Prabhupada's side. But these GBC stopped us. They lied to us. They told us, on Prabhupada's name they lied to us. And told us not to come. Because they thought they were going to save ISKCON. They thought they knew better than Srila Prabhupada. They thought they knew better than Prabhupada. So that Prabhupada said to come, but they knew better that if everyone comes, it's going to destroy ISKCON. So they went back and lied to us. And that prevented Prabhupada from seeing all his disciples one last time. And it kept us from seeing his merciful glance one last time, from being in his presence. So, but I couldn't speak this. This is the first time I've been able to speak it to an audience, because you couldn't say things like this in the ISKCON temples. Sorry about that. Put it on silent. Sorry, anyway. If you spoke out like this, you would be kicked out. But it's the fact. And then as I was doing the research, I found the letter by Rameshwar sent out to all the temples, because when the devotees weren't showing, and Prabhupada had woke up from sleep and was crying, and because all the devotees hadn't come, Upendra wrote in his diary how in the last days they were practically offending Prabhupada. So Hari Sari contacted Rameshwar, I think by phone, and was telling him what Upendra had written. And so then Rameshwar sent out a letter to all the temple presidents requesting everyone to send 2 devotees for 1 or 2 months, and then when they come back, send another 2. That's not what Prabhupada, even then he wouldn't follow what Prabhupada actually, he wouldn't repeat what Prabhupada actually asked for everyone to come. But, and these are the same men, because when Rameshwar had this idea of coming back to America, before he did this, he spoke to Tamal Krishna. He told me he met with Tamal Krishna, and Tamal approved of the plan, and that the other GBC had to be included, so that when they told everyone not to come, it was a coordinated effort. And these are the same men who thought that Prabhupada wanted, when he gave the Ritvik letter, the Ritvik representatives, to initiate on his behalf, henceforward the process, and that those who were initiated would become his disciples. These are the same men who thought that no, Prabhupada only wanted that for when he was living, and told us that Prabhupada had given them the order to become guru when he had not given that order. These are the same men. They had disobeyed Prabhupada and committed an offense in these last months. And I'm going way over my limit, so. So I'll end it here. They need to speak also. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna. Ami Atma Prabhu is now in the final stages of finishing a book that he is writing. It is about a 1,000-page book that he is completing, and he calls it a comprehensive study of the Guru issue and how Srila Prabhupada wanted the Ritvik system to be the system that has to be practiced. So with a lot of documents and a lot of conversations and evidence and arguments, he is preparing a 1,000-page book which is in its final stages of preparation, where he tells, including this anecdote that he narrated, what happened in the last days of Srila Prabhupada's presence. And all of you can await for the book to come. Hare Krishna.
And he's helping. He's having devotees help me with that, so, and it was your idea.
He has made a series of short videos, 3 to 5, 6 minutes videos, about how many? 400 videos. 30 hours of videos, about 400 or 300 videos, 260 videos. It's there on the net, on the YouTube. You can see any of you. And it is made very convenient. It's only 3 to 5 minutes at a time you can hear, and you can get to know all his various arguments that he has compiled. You can look up under Ami Atma Das. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Ami Atma Prabhu, for sharing your memories with us. Now I request Ami Atma Prabhu to please come forward and offer a flower garland to Srila Prabhupada. Please come. I also request Madhu Pandit Prabhu also to please come forward and offer a flower garland to Srila Prabhupada. I also request Madhu Pandit Prabhu also to please come forward.
नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे श्रील प्रभुपाद की। So Srila Prabhupada was on this planet from the year 1896 for 81 years till he attained Samadhi in the year 1977. So Srila Prabhupada's pastimes on this earth is definitely very unique and very special because it is in this body Srila Prabhupada engaged in pure devotional service of establishing the worldwide Hare Krishna movement for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, as a commander-in-chief of the Sankirtana movement, Srila Prabhupada today has caused the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and the Guru Parampara to come into this world, into lives of thousands and thousands and millions of devotees. So, Prabhupada's Leela in his physical body is very unique, no doubt. Many devotees had the good fortune to see him, be with him, talk to him, serve him personally. But at the same time, Prabhupada himself taught that there are two kinds of presence of the spiritual master. One is the physical presence of the spiritual master. Other is his presence by his teachings, by his sound. And Prabhupada explained that the presence as Vani, the sound, is more important than the presence as Vapu, his physical presence. It is very obvious too why it is so. Because Srila Prabhupada, he has come here for a mission. And that mission is not only 1896 to 1977. He initiated a mission by founding a mission as a Founder-Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And the time he spent till 1977 was meant to give birth to this institution, Hare Krishna movement all over the world, and also give direction for how to carry on this mission on his behalf for next 10,000 years. All these Prabhupada has worked very hard. Thousands of letters are there of Srila Prabhupada which give us guidance how to expand this mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So today, we are having all of Prabhupada's instructions very handy because of the technology. We should think that we are very fortunate, the later generation, the present generations, even though we have missed out being in his presence, yet as far as his spiritual mercy is concerned, as far as feeling Srila Prabhupada is concerned, as well as feeling our devotion to him, our dedication to him is concerned, there is no question of something different before 1977 and now. Every one of us can become very dear to Srila Prabhupada, personally dear to Srila Prabhupada, by becoming Krishna conscious as per his teachings and spreading Krishna consciousness as directed by him. Srila Prabhupada is living. You cannot limit a personality, an acharya like His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All the acharyas are always living. Not only Prabhupada, all the acharyas are always living. For us, in this movement that Srila Prabhupada founded, Srila Prabhupada is personally living to direct us, guide us, inspire us, give us the vision. In fact, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, now, after his disappearance, he is even more abundant. All the wonderful things that are happening, ISKCON Bangalore, where we accept Srila Prabhupada only as the Diksha Guru, and all the different 30 temples that have come up all over India and several abroad, where one can practice Srila Prabhupada as the exclusive spiritual master, dedicate, surrender, worship him as good as God. This opportunity is happening. Who is a visionary behind all this? Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is still giving the vision. He is still giving the inspiration. He is still directing his disciples. And he is still building continuing to build this Krishna consciousness movement, which is evidenced by what is happening in ISKCON Bangalore and the group of temples of ISKCON Bangalore. So even though it is this day, Disappearance Day, is a day where Prabhupada physically wound up his pastime, no doubt it is a departure of such a personality from before our eyes is a very sad day. At the same time, we have to go by what he has taught. In fact, today there is so much of Prabhupada's Leela being recorded by so many devotees. I don't think the devotees who were with Prabhupada in pre-77, they might have had maximum experience, direct, 1 or 2 experiences. But today we can have thousands of experiences of thousands of devotees who have recorded their interaction with Srila Prabhupada. So even that way, even physically, Prabhupada's Leelas on this, just by Leela Smaran, by remembering the wonderful pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, one can become very attached to Prabhupada, very close to Prabhupada, and by fulfilling his mission. So there is no limitation at all. So this so-called limitation that, now I cannot be, now Prabhupada, my relationship will be different from those who had relationship Prabhupada pre-77. It is not true. Prabhupada has come here to be available next 10,000 years for everybody. Nobody should limit Srila Prabhupada. Now he is gone, now somebody else should take his place. No. Prabhupada said, what will happen to your movement after you leave? Prabhupada's reply was, I will never die. Even in May 1977, Srila Prabhupada wrote, because he was sick, if death takes place, let it take here. There is nothing to be said new. Whatever I have to speak, I have spoken in my books. Now you try to understand it and continue your endeavor. Whether I am present or not present, it doesn't matter. As Krishna is living eternally, similarly living beings also lives eternally. But one who does service to the Lord lives forever. So you have been taught to serve Krishna, and with Krishna we will live eternally. Our life is eternal. A temporary disappearance of this body doesn't matter. Body is meant for disappearance, to live forever by serving Krishna. He spoke this in May 17, 1977. So we have to take inspiration from the various things that Srila Prabhupada has said, where he is affirming. Just like if Prabhupada came from New York to India, in New York he is not there. Can somebody say that, no, we are not having instruction from Prabhupada? No. If Prabhupada is preaching in some other planet now, so he is still living. He is continuing to guide. So Prabhupada came from New York, let's say from New York temple he comes to Vrindavan. From Vrindavana, he is communicating, he is continuing to guide everybody all over the world. All the 100 temples he was managing, he was directing, guiding, inspiring devotees, thousands of disciples, not by physically going to each one of them. So Prabhupada is, even when he was on this earth, his mercy was flowing beyond physical presence, beyond physical limitations of time, place. Everyone was receiving his mercy. So why it cannot continue the same now? So every one of us on this auspicious day should strive to strike a relationship with Srila Prabhupada, a relationship of dedication, a relationship of obedience to Srila Prabhupada, a relationship of surrender to Srila Prabhupada, a relationship of trying to fulfill the ambitions of Srila Prabhupada, a relationship continuously how to please Srila Prabhupada at each step of our life. So there is no limitations of him physically disappeared from our eyes. There is no limitation for how much mercy, kripa of Srila Prabhupada that you can get from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is still living with us. Even in Vapu he is staying still, but in the form of a deity. One can speak to the deity, one can get inspiration, one can get answers to one's queries from Srila Prabhupada. The deity of Srila Prabhupada is none different from him. Just like deity of Krishna is none different from Krishna, deity of Prabhupada is none different from him. So one can pray to Prabhupada, the form of Srila Prabhupada also. Even though he is physically, he wound up in 1977, his transcendental form is available, as Prabhupada says, that anyone who serves the mission of the Srila Prabhu, of Krishna, he eternally lives in Krishna's screen. So also we, by serving Srila Prabhupada, we can also become very dear to the Supreme Lord. Our goal, Krishna, Prabhupada has introduced Krishna to all of us, and we know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is our qualification to go near Krishna? What is our qualification to even understand Satchidananda Vigraha, understand the spiritual world, understand His omnipotency? We can't even understand His creation. So therefore, it is said that by simply surrendering to one spiritual master will take you to Krishna. We have no qualification to approach Krishna even, because Krishna is so pure. Unless we become completely pure, we cannot go anywhere near Krishna. So in the same way, so there is a solution for that. Yes, we are all impure. With all our impurity, we surrender to dear devotee of Krishna, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and by His mercy, we can attain the Supreme Lord. We can, as He Himself has promised, that He will take every one of His disciples back to God and to put an end to this life in this material world. Srila Prabhupada ki.
धन्यवाद प्रभु। अभी श्रील प्रभुपाद को अभिषेकम सेवा अर्पित की जाएगी। अभिषेकम पंचामृत, विभिन्न फलों के रसों के साथ एवं नाना प्रकार के फूलों के साथ किया जाएगा। अभिषेकम के समय संसार दावा नललीड लोक का एक विशेष भजन गाया जाएगा। तो आइए हम सभी अभी अभिषेकम प्रारंभ करते हैं। कृपया आप सभी अभिषेकम के समय अपने स्थान पर बैठे रहें और अभिषेकम को विटनेस करें। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा।
जय प्रभुपादा 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 श्रीला प्रभुपादा। जय प्रभुपादा 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 श्रीला प्रभुपादा। जय गुरुदेवा श्रीला प्रभुपादा गुरुदेवा श्रीला प्रभुपादा। जय गुरुदेवा श्रीला प्रभुपादा गुरुदेवा श्रीला प्रभुपादा। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
स्वस्ति नो गोविंद स्वस्ति नो अच्युतानंतो स्वस्ति नो वासुदेवो विष्णुर्दधातो स्वस्ति नो नारायणो नरो वै स्वस्ति नः पद्मनाभः पुरुषोत्तमो दधातु स्वस्ति नो विश्वक्सेनो विश्वेश्वरः स्वस्ति नो हृषिकेशो हरिर्दधातु स्वस्ति नो वैनतेयो हरिः स्वस्ति नो अंजनासुतो हनुर्भागवतो दधातु स्वस्ति स्वस्ति सुमंगलैकेशो महान् श्रीकृष्ण सच्चिदानंद घन सर्वेश्वरेश्वरो दधातु। ओम स्वस्ति ओम स्वस्ति ओम स्वस्ति। श्री गुरु परमानंद प्रेमानंद फलप्रदा व्रजानंद प्रदानंद सेवायां नियोजय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ध्यानम् प्रातः श्रीमन्नवद्वीपे द्विनेत्रं द्विभुजं गुरुं वराभयप्रदं शान्तं स्मरेत् तन्नामपूर्वकम्। त्वं गोपिका वृषरवेस्तनयान्ति केसि सेवाधिकारिणि गुरो निजपादपद्मे। दास्यं प्रदाय कुर्मां व्रजकारणे श्री राधाङ्घ्रिसेवनरसे सुखिनीं सुखाब्दौ। इदमासनम् स्वागतं सुस्वागतम् एतत्पाद्यम् इदमर्घ्यम् इदमाचमनीयम् एष मधुपर्कः इदं पुनराचमनीयम् इदं स्नानीयम् हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णैकचेतमदमोह विनाशकारिन् मद्दृष्टिगोचर प्रभो प्रभुपाद स्वामिन् दोषाभिवृत्ति परिदूषित मंद बुद्धे संचिन्तयामि चरणौ तव भक्ति हेतो। वृंदावने रमणरेति प्रसिद्ध भूमौ तत्रापि कृष्ण बलराम सुपाद मूले ज्ञानं परम कृष्ण सुधर्मितुक्तम् दान्तस्तु देव प्रभुपाद नमो नमस्ते।
नमस्ते नमस्ते कृपा पूर्ण दृष्टि, नमस्ते नमस्ते महानंद धात्री, नमामो नमामः पुररक्ष रक्ष, प्रसिद्ध प्रभो पाहि मां दक्ष दक्ष, भक्ति सिद्धांत शिष्याय भक्ति वेदांत नामिने, प्रसन्नाय प्रशांताय तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्रीवंग भूमि जन भूषण गौर लीला, गौरांग भाव परिसारण मात्र शीला, राधा मुकुंद पद पद्म मनोविलासिन, आनंद राशि प्रभुपाद नमो नमस्ते। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
संसार दावा नललीढलोका, त्राणाय कारुण्या घना घना त्वम्।
संसार दावा
त्राणाय कारुण्या घना घना त्वम्। संसार दावा नललीढलोका, त्राणाय कारुण्या घना घना त्वम्।
संसार दावा नललीढलोका, प्राणाय कारुण्या घना घना त्वम्।
प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणानवास्या, वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्।
प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणानवस्या, वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्।
महाप्रभु कीर्तन नृत्य गीता, वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसुरसेना।
वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेना।
रोमाञ्चकं पाशु तरङ्गभाजो, वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्।
रोमाञ्चकं पाशु तरङ्गभाजो, वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्।
श्रीविग्रहाराधन नृत्य नाना, शृङ्गार तन्मन्दिरमर्जनादौ।
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 युक्तस्य भक्तांश नियुञ्जतोऽपि,
युक्तस्य भक्तांश नियुञ्जतोऽपि,
युक्तस्य भक्तांश नियुञ्जतोऽपि,
युक्तस्य भक्तांश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि।
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्।
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
चतुर्विधा श्री भगवत प्रसाद स्वादन्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्त संगा
चतुर्वेदा श्री भगवत प्रसाद स्वादन्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्त संगा
कृत्वेव तृप्तिं भजत सदेवा
कृत्वेव तृप्तिं भजत सदैवा
कृत्वेव तृप्तिं भजत सदेवा
कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैवा
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूप नाम्ना
श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूप नाम्ना
प्रतिक्षणा स्वादन लोलुपस्य
प्रतीक्षणा स्वादन लोलुपस्य
प्रतिक्षणा स्वादन लोलुपस्य
प्रतीक्षणा स्वादन लोलुपस्य
वन्दे गुरोः श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
निकुञ्जयूनो रतिकेलि सिद्ध्यै यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया
निकुञ्जयोनो रतिकेलि सिद्धै यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया
निकुञ्जयूनो रतिकेलि सिद्ध्यै व्यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया
निकुञ्जयोनो रतिकेलि सिद्धै यायालिभिर्युक्तिरपेक्षणीया
तत्रादिदाक्षात् अतिवल्लभस्य तत्रादिदाक्षात् अतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरोः श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्री चरणारविन्दम्
साक्षाधरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव्यतैव साध्वी
साक्षाद्धरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव्यतैव साध्वी
साक्षाधरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव्यतैव साध्वी
साक्षाद्धरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भावत एव सद्भिः
किन्तु प्रभोर्यः प्रिय एव तस्य
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 वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
यस्य प्रसादाद् भगवत्प्रसादो
यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो
यस्य प्रसादाद् भगवत्प्रसादो
यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो
ध्यायां सुवां तस्याय शस्त्रिसन्ध्यम्
ध्यायातु वां तस्याय शत्रिसन्ध्यम्
यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि
यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् न गति कुतोऽपि
ध्यायां सुवां तस्याय शस्त्रिसन्ध्यम्
ध्यायातु वां तस्याय शस्त्रिसन्ध्यम्
ध्यायां सुवां तस्याय शस्त्रिसन्ध्यम्
ध्यायातु वां तस्याय शस्त्रिसन्ध्यम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
वन्दे गुरोः श्रीचरणारविन्दम्
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्री प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय श्री प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय श्री प्रभुपाद
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada.
न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकं निहितं गुहाय विभ्राजते यत्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्था सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दहरं विपाप्मं परवेश्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमद्य सग्घस्तम् तत्राविदहरं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यम् यद्वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः हरिः ॐ हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा श्रील प्रभुपादा
प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा श्रील प्रभुपादा
वंदे गुरो श्री चरणारविंदम
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 गुरो श्री चरणारविंदम
वंदे 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 गुरो श्री चरणारविंदम
जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद नित्याय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
नित्याय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्याय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
वंदे गुरो श्री चरणारविंदम
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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
सभी हाथ ऊपर कर एक साथ हरे कृष्ण मंत्र बोलेंगे। सभी हाथ ऊपर करें। Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Dhanyavad. Now I request His Grace Sanchalapati Prabhu to please come forward and say a few words on this occasion.
Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Teshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I will share with all of you some of the important occurrences in Srila Prabhupada's life in the year 1977. Srila Prabhupada was in Mayapur for Gaur Purnima festival in the early March of 1970s.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. After the Gaur Purnima festival, on March of 21st, 1977, Srila Prabhupada goes to Bombay. At that time, the Bombay temple is still under construction. However, his quarters were ready. The temple installation had not happened. In fact, it happens after Srila Prabhupada's disappearance. Srila Prabhupada stays in Bombay till May 8th, 1977. When Prabhupada was in Bombay, he gets an invitation from some donors and well-wishers that Srila Prabhupada should go to Rishikesh. The weather is very good and very pristine environment on the banks of Ganga. They offer him to come and stay. So on May 8th, Srila Prabhupada sets out from Bombay to Rishikesh. When Srila Prabhupada was in Rishikesh, right on the banks of Ganga, devotees were very happy. It was a very wonderful place. But a lot of visitors would come and meet Srila Prabhupada in the evening. But then, on May 8th, Prabhupada reached Rishikesh. Not very long, on the night of May 14th, from 8th to 14th, same month, May, on the night of May 14th, all of a sudden the weather changes and there is heavy storm, rain, thunder, lightning that night. And Srila Prabhupada calls his servants and says that the light, electricity goes away for 2 days. All this goes on. And then Srila Prabhupada calls his few disciples who were with him and says, Srila Prabhupada Krishna has indicated that this is time for him to leave. And he immediately wants to leave Rishikesh and come to Vrindavan. The news is sent from Rishikesh that Srila Prabhupada is coming to Vrindavan. Once again, the devotees are all very excited. Prabhupada is coming to Vrindavan. They are all eager to receive him. And overnight, by train, Srila Prabhupada comes from Rishikesh and he comes to Mathura and then comes to Mathura station and then comes to Vrindavan. When Srila Prabhupada arrives, it is on May 17th. So this is when Srila Prabhupada, the devotees were all had a joyous kirtan to receive him. And as soon as they received him, Prabhupada looked very weak. And on that arrival, Srila Prabhupada spoke very, very briefly. And that is when he said, if death takes place, let it take place here. There is nothing to be said new. Whatever I have to speak, I have spoken in my books. Now you try to understand it and continue your endeavor. Whether I am present or not present, it doesn't matter. As Krishna is living eternally, similarly, living being also lives eternally. But one who has done service to the Lord lives forever. So you have been taught to serve Krishna, and with Krishna we will live eternally. Our life is eternal. A temporary disappearance of this body doesn't matter. Body is meant for disappearance. So live forever by serving Krishna. When Srila Prabhupada spoke these words, all the devotees became very sad. They had thought that Prabhupada has come back to Vrindavan to be with them, but then Prabhupada gave this message that he has come to leave. All the devotees became very sad. Now Srila Prabhupada stays in Vrindavan from May 17th to August 27th. This is the time when Srila Prabhupada makes makes arrangements for his movement for the future. So May 17th, Prabhupada was here and he sent message to the GBCs that he is now preparing to leave, and different GBCs come from all over the world. I guess most of them came. And that is how during that time on May 28th, the GBCs have the final official meeting with Srila Prabhupada on May 28th, the well-known conversations about future initiation, all that happens. And it was soon after that, on July 7th, once again, Prabhupada brings up the topic and gives the names of 10 disciples who will act as officiating acharyas. And then on July 9th, the final copy of the letter Prabhupada signs, which has 11 names of devotees who will act as officiating acharya. And that is how the July 9th letter came about during that time. And then Srila Prabhupada has practically stopped eating any prasadam. He's only taking charanamrit. And he has become very weak. Around that time, there is a conversation with some of the devotees that if Srila Prabhupada makes one more trip to different temples in the world, all the devotees will be very, very inspired, and that will increase their determination to be Krishna conscious. And although Srila Prabhupada was in no state to travel, he agrees to travel. So on August 27th, Srila Prabhupada starts in the night, midnight, to go to London, and from there to go to America to visit the temples and the disciples. I have heard this from some of the devotees who were there in August, on August 27th. By around late night, about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, Prabhupada was placed in the ambassador car on the back seat. Prabhupada could not walk. They put a bed sheet on the seat, and Prabhupada was lying on the back seat of ambassador car. And Prabhupada was going to travel that night from Delhi, from Vrindavan to Delhi, to take an early morning 2 a.m. flight to London. So that was the condition when Srila Prabhupada left. He was just bones, practically no flesh left, very, very weak. But he had his eyes open. The devotees were doing kirtan as the ambassador car passed, and the devotees were watching how Srila Prabhupada was in that state. And like this, he goes to London on August 28th. And when Srila Prabhupada is in London, you might have seen some pictures. He has developed a kind of extreme sensitivity for light. So light hurts him. So devotees give him a dark glasses. He starts wearing dark glasses. And for some reason, the different parts of his body gets swollen. So he's taken to a doctor, and the doctor suggests an immediate surgery to be performed. So Srila Prabhupada undergoes a surgery in London and connected with his kidneys. And he is there from August 28th, and he is planning next to go to America. Particularly, he wanted to go to ISKCON farm in Pennsylvania, in Gitanagari. Prabhupada had said, I will come to Gitanagari farm, and there I will give you further instructions on Varnashrama, how it has to be organized. And so the devotees were all excited in America. Prabhupada is going to come to Gitanagari farm, and they were all waiting. They were decorating his room, getting his rooms ready. But then when Prabhupada was in London, the doctors said after his surgery, he is not in any state to travel anymore. And so the doctors did not advise that he further goes, and Srila Prabhupada decides to return to India. So from August 28th to September 13th, Srila Prabhupada stayed in London, and on September 13th, Srila Prabhupada returns from London. He comes to Bombay, September 14th. So Prabhupada is in Bombay for the next 15 days, September 14th to October 1st. On October 1st, Srila Prabhupada takes a train and comes from Bombay to Mathura. And on October 2nd, Srila Prabhupada reaches Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram temple. And from October 2nd till November 14th, Srila Prabhupada stayed in Krishna Balaram temple. And on November 14th, as per Tithi today, in the evening at about 7:20 p.m., Srila Prabhupada disappeared from his visible, physical Leela. And as Madhu Pandit Prabhu said, Prabhupada continues his Leela after November 14th, 77 also, to expand his mission. So these were some of the important events, chronology of events connected with Srila Prabhupada in the year of his disappearance. Wanted to share with all of you that how it is also said on the day of on November 14th, he was still on November 14th in the morning, he gave dictation of Bhagavatam purports. Bhagavatam 10th canto, 13th chapter, and the final verses purport Prabhupada dictated on November 14th. So till his last day of his manifest presence, Srila Prabhupada was dictating his books. And even a few days before, Prabhupada was discussing institutional matters, what has to be done. Although he was only on the bed and very barely he could speak, very softly, very slowly, Prabhupada would speak. And we also heard from Ami Atma Prabhu some of the things that Prabhupada said those days. All of those were happening in late October and early November. And this was the glorious life of Srila Prabhupada, completely dedicated to serve Krishna. After his sannyas, he stayed here. And Srila Prabhupada also says one famous statement. He made one comment. Those who are staying in Vrindavan should broadcast the glories of Vrindavan Chandra all over the world. And so that was the aspiration of Srila Prabhupada. And we are making our humble attempt here so that we have an iconic temple, so that from here the glories of Vrindavan Chandra will be broadcast all over the world. So with these few words, I will close, and very soon we will have Arati, Guru Puja for Srila Prabhupada, and all of you will get opportunity to offer lamps, and they'll make further announcements. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki, Shri Nitai Gauranga ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Nitai Go Premanande.
हरे कृष्ण। धन्यवाद प्रभु। आज शाम को भी यह कार्यक्रम श्री राधा दामोदर मंदिर में मनाया जाएगा। आप सभी भक्त वहाँ पर भी सादर आमंत्रित हैं। आप सभी के लिए प्रसादम की व्यवस्था कृष्णामृता हॉल, जो कि नीचे मेज़नाइन फ्लोर पर है, की गई है। आप प्रसादम कूपन अपने रिस्पेक्टिव प्रीचर्स से, जिन भी भक्तों के संपर्क में आप हैं, उनसे कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। अभी श्रील प्रभुपाद को गुरु पूजा सेवा अर्पित की जाएगी। गुरु पूजा के समय आप सभी को प्रभुपाद को पुष्प अर्पित करने का मौका मिलेगा। सभी माताजी से मेरा निवेदन है कि आप प्रभुपाद के राइट साइड से आएँ और पुष्प अर्पित करें, और सभी प्रभुजी से मेरा निवेदन है कि आप श्रील प्रभुपाद के लेफ्ट साइड से आकर उन्हें पुष्प अर्पित करें। पुष्प अर्पित कर आप थोड़ा पीछे जाकर उन्हें प्रणाम कर सकते हैं, जिससे कि व्यवस्था सुचारू रूप से बनी रहे। हाँ, आप सभी एक पंक्ति बनाकर, एक क्यू बनाकर लाइन प्रभुपाद को फ्लावर्स ऑफर करने के लिए आए। जिस प्रकार हमारे वॉलंटियर्स आपको गाइड करते हैं, कृपया उन्हें फॉलो करें। तो अभी हम श्रील प्रभुपाद को गुरु पूजा सेवा प्रारंभ करेंगे। हरे कृष्णा। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। कीर्तन टीम से निवेदन है, कीर्तन शुरू करें।
प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा, जय जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद, गुरुदेव जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद, गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। निताय गौर हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा, केवल भक्ति सद्मा। 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 वंदो मुहि सावधान माते, वंदो मुहि सावधान माते, वंदो मुहि सावधान माते, वंदो मुहि सावधान माते। जहरा प्रसादे भाई, ये भाव तोरिया जा। जहर प्रसादे भाई, ये भाव तोरिया जा। कृष्ण प्राप्ति होई जहाँ होइते, कृष्ण प्राप्ति होई जहाँ होइते, कृष्ण प्राप्ति होई जहाँ होइते, कृष्ण प्राप्ति होई जहाँ होइते। चित्ते कोरिया क्या, गुरुमुखा पद्मा वाक्या, चित्ते कोरिया क्या।
करी हो मने आशा
আর না করি হো মনে আশা
আর না করি हो मने आशा
गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति
श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति
श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति
श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति
प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा
प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा
प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा
प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा
चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिलो ये जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिलो ये जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित
प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जाते
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 वेद गाय जहर चरितो
विद्या जहर चरितो
गाय जहर चरितो
जहर चरितो
गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु
गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु
श्री 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 गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु
लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवना
लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवना
प्रभुपाद लोकेर जीवना
श्रीला प्रभुपाद लोकेर जीवना
प्रभु कर दया के हमरे पाद छाया
प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पाद छाया
प्रभु कर दया के हमरे पाद छाया
प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पाद छाया
प्रभु कर दया के हमरे पाद छाया
प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पाद छाया
प्रभु को हृदय दे मोरे पद छाया
प्रभु को हृदय दे मोरे पद छाया
प्रभुपाद को हृदय दे मोरे पद
श्रील प्रभुपाद को हृदय दे मोरे पद छाया
प्रभु को
श्रील प्रभुपाद की
दे मोरे पद छाया
प्रभु को दया 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 दे मोरे पद छाया
प्रभु पद को दया दे मोरे पद छाया
दया दे मोरे पद छाया
जगदीश त्रिभुवना
जगदीश त्रिभुवना
जगदीश त्रिभुवना
जगदीश त्रिभुवना
जय प्रभुपद 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 जय प्रभुपद
जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद
भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपद
जय भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपद
जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद
गौर हरि हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि
हरि
बोल
बोल हरि बोल श्रील प्रभुपाद की
नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने
नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandri ki, Shri Nitai Gaurang ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai गुरुदेव जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
जय गुरुदेव जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
जय गुरुदेव जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय गुरुदेव जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे
राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे
राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे
राधा दामोदर राधा दामोदर राधे
राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे
जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे जय 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 जय श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे जय जय श्री राधे
राधे राधे राधे राधे जय जय श्री राधे
जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव जय जय प्रभुपाद
जय गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव जय श्रील प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद
गुरुदेव प्रभुपाद
निताय गौर
हरि
हरि बोल हरि बोल
जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ISKCON Founder-Acharya BBT Founder-Acharya Savior of the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्री षड्गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की श्री श्री गौर निताय की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्रील प्रभुपाद तिरोभाव महामहोत्सव की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल।